Okay, so in the last video we discussed the difference between a conductor and insulator, and we discussed some of the talk about what an electron is and how we may charge a insulator. We talked about charging in a perspex rod by using a nylon cloth, rubbing it off the nylon cloth, and it gave it a positive or negative charge depending on the way it worked. Now, we know some of the causes of this, or we've seen some causes of this, okay? So if you remember, you might have got out of the car and you might have got an electric shock off the car. That's just caused by static electricity. It's the build up of charge on the outside of an object. Now, static electricity, it comes from the charges on the outside of protons and neutrons, okay? So we got protons and neutrons make up static charge. Now, this is a battle between these to see who gets the most charge and who says who's in charge. So obviously protons have a positive charge and then electrons have that negative charge. And it's a battle to see who has more of these on the outside of the object that's charged. Okay, if it's neutral, okay, obviously it's equal. It has the same amount of protons and neutrons. If it's negatively charged, it has more electrons than protons, and if it's positively charged, it has more protons than electrons. Okay, generally speaking, it's much easier to add or remove electrons from an atom, okay? So we talk about the electrons. If there's electrons taken away, it's negatively charged. If electrons are added, if electrons are taken away, it's positively charged because it's going to have less negative charge. But if electrons are added, then it's going to be negatively charged because there's more negative charges on it. Now, there's ways by which we can charge things, okay? So we talked about charging by contact. So that's where we rub the perspex rod and the nylon together. And that's charging by contact, something we look at a little bit more detail in class. Now, we've got forces between charges. So one of the experiments we'll be doing is where we hang a positively charged piece of material from a string. And then alternatively, what we do then is you bring a negatively charged piece of material towards it. So we close down this distance here towards it. And what you'll find is that that positively charged perspex rod probably will start to turn away, try to get away from this negative charge. Very similar to when we worked at magnets, or when you would have worked at magnets. So we had the positive and negative end. And if we try to push two negative ends together, okay, if we try to push two negative ends together, they repel each other. So here what will actually happen as we bring this negative charge closer to the positive, they'll be attracted together. So we always, that's kind of that.